So our next speech, last speaker, but not the least, Ms. Shaista Safi. She is lobbyist with Youth Forum for Kashmir, but living nowadays in UK. The topic of talk, role of Kashmir diaspora on Kashmir conflict. So, Ms. Shasta.
Thank you very much, Aman Bajwa Sahab, for having me today here. Thank you to every speaker, Shujat Ahmed Zada. I heard your speech and I felt it. Thank you to Tan Tawfiq for such kind words and solidarity you have shown with the people of Kashmir as well as with the people of Azerbaijan. And you're right in saying that we are all one without any borders. When something happens in Kashmir, people of Azerbaijan, people of Indonesia, people of Pakistan, even people in Turkey, they feel it. And this means a lot when this comes from people like you who are working on human rights. And this means a lot for the people of Kashmir, for the people like us who are living in diaspora. When we see people like you talking about Kashmir and what's happening in Indian occupied Kashmir nowadays. I'd like to give a compliment to Ms. Nargis. She spoke the way she spoke. I felt it, and for some time, if I close my eyes, I was feeling like it was me speaking, because all the things she spoke were relevant to what's happening in Indian occupied Kashmir. Whatever she spoke, I felt like she's talking about my homeland, Kashmir. When she was talking about 4-year-old boy being killed in his own yard, in his own home yard, I remember the face of 3-year-old Ayad, whose grandfather was killed, and his picture on the chest of his dead grandfather was circulating on social media. I remembered Nehan, 4 years old boy from Indian occupied Kashmir, who went out with his father to get some toffees or chocolates, but his dead body returned home, killed. I remembered each and every name from Indian occupied Kashmir when Nargis was talking about the Armenia. I felt like she's so this bond. Saw her talking, but a bond was formed there and then when she was talking about what's Armenia doing, because I felt her. The emotions she showed, I could feel them. I could understand them, because these are the things which we have been grown up seeing all these things, and we have been grown up listening and seeing all these stories from Indian occupied Kashmir. And as a born child in conflict, we grow up with these stories. We grow up with such incidents. We grow up with the noise of bullets, and we grow up with the smell of weapons and gunpowder, and with the smell of blood. We all grow up in that. And when then we hear about what's happening in other parts of the world, they connect us. Right now, I can understand what the people of Azerbaijan they go through when they see and hear such stories, because we, the people of Kashmir, understand what happens. And we even last time we met in a lady from Azerbaijan, and when I told her that my family is displaced, and one family lives in one part of Kashmir, Azad Kashmir, and other live in Indian occupied Kashmir, she could feel it, because she said that her own family is displaced, and the tears she shown, the tears, I could feel them, because we know how families grow when they are living in displacements. So this webinar, it's unique in this way, because it connected people from different parts of the world, but their story are similar. I could completely understand what Nargis, how emotional she must have been, because whenever I talk, people tell me that you get emotional. But yes, emotional is what makes me a human. Otherwise, everything is a machine. They don't have emotions. Emotion is that what makes me a human being, that what makes me to talk about what's happening in Kashmir, or in what's happening in Azerbaijan, or what is Armenia doing, or what is India doing. So I like to compliment Nargis, and I like to say her that keep your emotions high and be as emotional as you can, because this is what makes us human, and this is what makes us a good human being, because we can feel the pain of others. So as we talk about, as my topic, the role of diaspora, activism is really important, because there are people who can't talk for themselves. There are people who can't share their stories. There are people who can't narrate their stories. If I talk about Kashmir, there is a complete internet blackout. There's complete media blackout. So the people like us who are from the soil, but they are living in other parts of the world, it is our responsibility to come up and show the reality of what is happening in our part of the world. It is our responsibility, and it is activism of ours, that um, people will understand, people will show some sympathy, but most importantly, they will show empathy. They'll understand what we are talking about. If I tell you that after 5th of August, when we wanted people to understand what curfew is, what a lockdown is, what Kashmiris are going through when there is no food, what Kashmiris are going through when there is no hospital facilities available, people used to sympathize with us, but they never understood what we are talking about. But after this COVID-19, when there was a lavish lockdown, there was everything available, but still people were now relating themselves. They were saying that, oh, okay, this is something we have to know. We understand now what the people in a conflicted area must be thinking, because in places like if London, it was under lockdown for 4 months, but we had everything available here. But in Indian occupied Kashmir, when there's a lockdown, there's a curfew, there are Indian occupational forces every 10 yards. There is every occupational forces for 9 civilians. What they must be going through, people started to empathize with us. They understood that this is something, if in a free land we are facing such difficulties, or we are facing that just sitting inside our home, where in UK people are being paid to sit inside their homes and work from their home, still they are feeling, they say that we are feeling mentally ill. We are having mental crisis these days. They have all internet available, they have cables available, but now think about what Kashmiri people undergo. There's a curfew, and they have been living in these conditions for decades now. And the mental health issues in Kashmir are alarming, and they are rising. And according to the Doctors Without Border, 45% of the whole population is suffering through mental health issues. Anxiety is there, depression is there, post-traumatic stress disorders are there. So we the people who are advocating for the causes, we the people who are lobbying for the causes, we need to touch each and everything, be it the education, be it the mental health issues, be it the physical abuse people in conflict zones are going through, be it what is happening to the innocence, childhood of people living in conflict zones, be it anything, we have to touch each and everything. We work, and being part of Youth Forum for Kashmir, and being part of this team Zaman Bajwa and Ghulam Shabir are part of, we have done these things before, and as conflict goes on, we need to improve more and more. And this is a very good step by Youth Forum for Kashmir, by engaging people from Azerbaijan, from people from Indonesia, even people from Turkey, bring together all these stories, bring together all these people under one platform, and engage these stories, interact with these stories, and then we can make a way forward to how to come up, how to combine our efforts, because someone is working in Azerbaijan, someone is working in Indonesia, in Pakistan, in Kashmir, in UK. Why not to combine these efforts together and then move forward for all the causes? Because as my brother Tan Tawfiq rightly said, that it's an ummah, and we need to be combined together without any fear of borders. Let Indonesia, let Azerbaijan, let Pakistan, let Turkey, let Malaysia, let Kashmir be together in talking about these situations. If something happens in Kashmir, Nargis should feel it. If something happened in Azerbaijan, Shaista should feel it. If something, God forbid, happens in Indonesia, we all should feel it. So this webinar is a step forward in understanding each other's conflict and causes, and getting together in educating and in lobbying under one platform together, and making the scattered voice coming together. So this is the way forward for the activism. We have to be as diverse. We have to combine as many voices together with ours, and that is the way forward, in my opinion. And I know we are already ahead of time, so I won't take much time. Just thank you to everyone, and special thanks to Youth Forum for Kashmir for giving me this opportunity to hear to such beautiful and such brief voices from Shujaat Ahmadzada, Tawfiq Tan, and Nargis. And thank you very much, Zaman, for giving me this opportunity.
Shaista, it's our pleasure and honor to have you every time. So thanks a lot for inviting our invitation on very short notice. So actually, the purpose of this webinar was that to just it was invite some people from diverse backgrounds. As I met with Ms. Nargis a few years back in Azerbaijan, and we just sat and decided to do something together. And it is the first step that we are doing a webinar on topic of Nagorno-Karabakh and Kashmir. So as in future, inshallah, we will do such type of activities with Azerbaijan, Indonesia, and UK as well.